What's good, y'all? It's your boy Max. One of my goals this year was to be more on top of things, and that is because last year I fucked up a lot. And that mainly stemmed from me just being all over the place, you know? I wasn't on top of things for my car, I wasn't on top of things for work, I wasn't on top of things in my everyday life, and all those things eventually came and bit me in the ass one way or another. It just got me to a point where I was like, bro, I'm an adult and I need to seriously lock the fuck in. Like, I can't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Like, I need to be more on top of things. But you know, I get it. You know, sometimes we just get caught up in life. We don't really give ourselves the time to take a break, to stop, to breathe, to relax, and really ask ourselves the question, like, are we really on the right path? Are we really doing the right thing? Like, are we still making the same stupid mistakes? Like, guys, I'm not a kid anymore, and I'm sure a lot of y'all aren't either. Like, I don't have my parents fucking holding my hands, telling me what to do every 5 seconds, making sure I stay on track, making sure I stay on task. Like, sometimes you're the only one that's gonna make sure you stay on track, and if you're not doing it, it's simply not gonna happen. And that's why earlier this year, I came up with a habit that I wanted to do at the start of every month as a way to, you know, just make sure that I'm on task, to make sure I'm on track, and it is called the monthly reset. Hence the title of the video. It's basically a 5-step process that you could do either at the end of every month or the beginning every month to just start the month off fresh, to make sure that you're giving yourself the guidance and direction you need, because, bro, without guidance or direction, I'd probably just be at home playing video games, watching TV, eating fast food, and beating my meat every day. Like, I seriously need guidance and direction in my life. So, without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is to reflect on the month that just ended. So at the end of every month, I like to just go over the month I just had. You know, I've said a lot in this channel, but I really like journaling, so this usually happens in the form of me just writing it down. I like to write down what I did good, what I did bad, what I can do better, and how I plan on doing it. And I feel like, bro, like this really doesn't take long at all. It could literally take you like 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you're writing a lot of stuff, but that is time that will save you a lot of time in the future of making the same stupid mistakes over and over and over again, just because you don't want to have that conversation with yourself. There's a lot of power in just telling yourself like, hey, I fucked up here, and just like being mindful of it and just telling yourself, hey, I messed up here, I'm gonna be mindful to make sure that I don't do it again. I just feel like being honest with yourselves is one of the most important things you could do if you want to improve your life, because you know yourself better than everyone. You know where you mess up the most, you know things that other people don't know about you, and you know where you could do better at. So just take that time at the start of every month and just tell yourself like, hey, I did good, I did bad, and I want to do better, so how can I do it? And just try to be mindful of it throughout the month, because it will make a difference, and you'll see it like this. All right, next step. The next step is to make a to-do list. This is a very simple one, but for some reason, it really works for me. I don't know why. It's usually the simple things that work the best. At the start of every month, I just like to make a to-do list. You know, I like to write down every goal or task that comes to mind. I usually write it in my journal, but you can write it on a piece of paper on your phone and just, you know, throughout the month, check them off, X them out, add more if you have to, but just try to get through as much of the list as you can. What I like about this is there's no punishment if I don't get to every single thing on the list. It's not like some guy's gonna come into my house and kick me in the balls with steel boots. If I don't get to something that's not on a time constraint, I simply just add it to the next month until it gets done. And, you know, I do like to get to around 75% of the things on the list, but you know, sometimes you can't, bro. Sometimes things happen, things get in the way, and you can't do 150 tasks every single month, but that's okay. But I just think that having a task actually written down just makes me 100 times more likely to do it, because if you just leave it up to my memory and the thing's like a month away or a few weeks away, I will not remember to do that shit, bro. I swear to God. But when you're constantly seeing on a list and you're constantly seeing it and you're constantly seeing it, it's gonna stay fresh in your mind and it's not gonna go away until you cross it off, which makes me way more likely to do it. Okay, next thing on the list. There are certain habits that I try to keep up with every month. For example, working on my YouTube videos, working out, saving money, doing overtime at work, not beating my meat every single day. And the way that I keep track as to if I'm actually doing these things or not is by using a tally chart. Like I said before, bro, it really do be the simple things that work the best. This is literally how the chart looks in my notebook. I just make a chart, I write down each habit that I want to keep up with every single month, and next to them throughout the month, I just tally whether I'm doing it or not. Every time I do it, I put a tally down, tally down, tally down. And at the end of the month, I can just see how many times I did it. And I know what you might be thinking, like, hey, why do I have to put a tally every time I do something? Like, I can remember if I did it or not. But I think just being able to actually visualize and see how many times you did something just really puts it into perspective as to if you're actually doing it as much as you want to or not. Like at the end of the month, I could look back and be like, hey, I barely worked out this month, or hey, I worked on my videos a lot this month. Maybe I could time manage a little bit better where I could, you know, do a little more of this and a little less of this. Because sometimes you'll think that you're doing something and then you'll look at the chart and be like, yo, I barely did that. Or sometimes you'll feel like, oh, I'm not productive, I barely did it. And then you'll look at the chart and be like, what am I talking about? I did that like 50 times this month. For me, I just like being able to visualize my time and just make sure that I'm staying on task with the things that I want to be doing. Alright guys, next thing on the list is to organize your space. Clean up your house, clean up your room, clean up your car, bro. Clean up those dirty cum socks that I know for a fact are sitting behind your bed because no one else is gonna touch those things. I just feel like it is way easier to have a clear head when you're in a clean space that doesn't look like it's straight out of the show Hoarders. Aside from being outside, like I spend a lot of time outside, but no matter what, I spend the most time in my room. And I like to come home to it being organized, it being clean, things being where I want them to be, and I don't gotta go looking for things or trying to put things back every time I wanna do something. Try to have your room set up in a way that's gonna make you productive. Like every time I wanna record a video, I just gotta put my camera here, turn on this light, and press record. I don't gotta start moving things, I don't gotta start setting up things, I don't gotta start putting things away and cleaning up. I just gotta put it here and I can be productive, it's easy. But you know, when your room's a mess, when you gotta be walking over things, when you gotta be walking over dirty piles of clothes, when you gotta be, you know, just looking for things because you don't know where things are, it's harder to be productive because it adds way more steps to it. So just try to take the time, bro, like once a month and just try to fix your surroundings up a little bit, just in a way where it's a little organized, because it will go a long way in making you productive. Just being in a clean space, you'll feel good, you'll want to do more work, you won't feel like you're just living in a mess. And last but not least, guys, last thing on this list is a simple one, and that is to take care of yourself. A lot of the times people overlook themselves, whether it be overlooking their health, whether it be overlooking their hygiene and smelling like straight out of that episode of SpongeBob. You know, I just feel like take the time once a month, bro, and just make sure you're good. Whether that be getting a haircut, whether that be shaving, whether that be taking a nice shower, whether that be doing a face mask like these girls be doing. Like, take the time, bro, to just make sure that you feel good, that you're doing okay, and that you're checking up on yourself, whether that be physically or mentally too. Sometimes people get so focused on what they're doing or other people that they forget to focus on the most important person in their lives, that being themselves. And you know, just if you could just take the time once a month and just check in on yourself, bro, make sure you're okay, make sure you're feeling good, it will go a long way. It will push you to do better because you'll feel good. It's like, do I really want to do work if I'm feeling like shit? Probably not. But if I'm feeling good, you know, I'll probably be more motivated to do more. But alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. You know, I was pretty hyped to share this video with y'all. You know, this habit's been working really good for me these last few months, and I was hoping it could work for some of y'all too. Some months you're gonna do better than others, and some months you're gonna do worse than others. But I feel like if you're just in that mindset where you're trying to do better, where you're trying to improve, it will really take you a long way, and it will push you to do better. We're only human, guys. Like every month we're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna fuck up. Like it's normal, but hopefully this video can help you fuck up just a little bit less by doing simple things that will just set your life up for success. But if you got anything else that you think you can add to this list to make it just a little bit better, drop it down in the comment section below. I might need to check that out. But anyways, guys, my name is Max, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Wake up out the door, it's time to get this money. So many pitfalls in my life, that shit ain't even funny. Them rainy nights had them days looking mad sunny. My clothes nice, remember when them shits was mad